Have you ever traveled to another part of the world and you thought, why are these people doing things this way? Or you have seen cultural practices online and you are immediately wowed. This makes no sense. Like my daughter would say, it doesn't make sense. Look, the point I'm making is, what if the problem is not their culture? What if it is actually not wrong? You just don't understand it. Justifiably so. And this is where anthropology and cultural relativism become very important. Hello everyone, my name is Ben Adejumo. I teach leadership and ethics at WCU Los Angeles, California. Anthropology is the study of human beings, their culture, their belief system, their behavior, their tradition, their language, their way of life, the way they do things. So if you understand the concept of anthropology, you would not ask some questions. You would ask like, why do people live and think the way they do? And one of the most important lessons in anthropology is something that is called cultural relativism. And that simply means the idea that before judging another culture, we should first try to understand it from the perspective of the people who is practicing it. It does not automatically mean everything they do is right. Don't get me wrong. It just simply means seek understanding before passing judgment. And I hope that makes sense. So instead of asking, why are these people doing something so strange and silly? You will ask questions like, what historical, social, religious, or environmental reasons caused this practice to develop? Why are they acting the way they are acting? What is responsible for that? Do you understand? Okay, now, people who study other people's culture, their way of life, they spend years learning their languages. They live in the community. They will eat their food. They will observe their customs because they know there is something important about the way people live their lives. So basically, I'm trying to say people's behavior makes sense within their own cultural context. You get the point? If you come from Oyo State, Ibadan, eating amala and ewedu is not going to be alien to you, even to another person that lives in Oyo State. If you come to a typical household in Ibadan, you'll be treated like a king by being served amala, gbegiri, and ewedu. Or if you go to Ogun State, if they really want to like place you up, they will serve you pounded yam and a forero. If you go to Ijebu land, ikokore is the biggest deal for them. The first thing that shocked me when I moved into this part of the world, I went for a Thanksgiving and they put turkey, huge turkey, mashed potatoes, vegetables, salads on the table. And I'm like, Omo, what's this now? I dined with them with love because I understood. But I left there hungry, not satisfied. Till today, I don't eat some meals, donut, pizza. It's not me. But it makes sense to them. But it makes no sense to me. And I would be silly to see them and think they're not enjoying themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me give you another example. In America, many people eat beef. But in some parts of India, cows are considered sacred. And many people refuse to eat them. In fact, I have a student that came from Nepal. And she told me straight out, we don't eat beef. You cannot eat cow. Cow? India, Nepal? Imagine you not eating cow. If you are from West Africa, that is somebody's delicacies. Imagine you saying that's ridiculous. Or an Indian saying eating beef is terrible. Look, anthropology teaches us to step back. Instead of judging, you are going to ask questions like, what religious belief or historical experiences and cultural values that shape this practice? So cultural relativism helps us to understand that different societies can arrive at different conclusions based on their experiences. Let me give another example. In America, a firm handshake communicates confidence. In Japan, bowing is the big deal. I have a student in Japan. I have students all over the place. I have Japanese, South Koreans in my class. I have a popular South Korean dancer in my class. She never looks at you. She will bow. You have to bow to show respect. In some African cultures, prolonged greetings are expected before you discuss business. Hello, how are you? It's good to see you. How is family? How is your dad? Tell me more. Where are your children now? Oh, that's very good now. But you're wasting someone else's time in another part of the world. If you go through all of that, but in another part of the world, people go straight to business. Did you see what I'm saying? So imagine an American executive arriving in Nigeria where people spend more than 10 minutes to greet one another. He will start saying you are wasting his time. But from African culture's perspective, relationships come before transaction. So to us, that behavior is not irrational, it's cultural. Another example. This one is important. In some culture, children are encouraged to speak freely and challenge ideas. What do you mean, Dad? In another culture, children are taught to show respect by listening more than speaking. So a parent from one culture may view the other approach as wrong. Basically, one culture prioritizes independence and the other culture prioritizes respect and social harmony. Again, cultural relativism. It doesn't require us to agree with everything. It simply encourages you to understand before you criticize. And now, there is limit to these things, and we have to be careful. And I have to say this before I end this video. Look, cultural relativism has limit. Cultural relativism is not the same as moral relativism. Understanding the practice does not automatically mean I am approving it. I understand why you act the way you act. It doesn't mean I have to accept, approve, or acknowledge it. For example, anthropology may help us understand why corruption exists in a society. But understanding corruption does not mean corruption is acceptable. It's never accepted anywhere. It may help us to understand why discrimination, exploitation, violence developed historically. But understanding those practices does not mean I endorse it. Do you understand? And this is why we need both cultural understanding and moral reasoning in our decision making, so that we can understand a behavior without celebrating it. One of the greatest lessons in anthropology is humility. So before you say those people are wrong, you will ask questions. What experience or belief or circumstances shape the way people behave or the way they think? You can respect another person's culture. You can learn from another person's culture. You can understand another person's culture and still hold firmly to your own moral conviction, because that is where the wisdom is. You are not judging first. You found it, you understand it, and you respect it. You understand why they do it, but your moral conviction stays the same. That right there, my friend, is cultural relativism. And I hope this makes sense to you. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever encountered a cultural practice that seems strange to you at first, but makes sense after you understood the reason behind it? I'd love to hear from you if you can. And I'll see you around also. Thank you for listening to me. Subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. I usually don't say it, and I think I've been wrong since. I'm asking you, please share this video and subscribe to my channel, so the next time we drop incredible materials like this, you will be the first to know. And I will see you around.